Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. It's official. Tom Brady to my BUCS. Woo! I can't believe it. Plus, Todd Gurley on the move. Melvin Gordon as well. Free agency frenzy. A BUCS fan reaction. And your boy, Ryan, and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy either on here or patreon.com/NWSF. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So happy Friday, everyone. This coronavirus is obviously changing everyone's timetable for not only work, but anything that they do outside of work. And with the NFL schedule and with the draft coming up, there has been some breaking news as we're going into the weekend. We're going to have to see if there's going to be a work stoppage on Monday. That's kind of the rumor. I'm not sure if it's going to be nationwide, depending on the job status and the job title that you have. Pierce Clymer in the building, and I'll wait for a few others to hop in. I normally don't do a live stream this early. This might be the earliest I've ever done a live stream. Obviously with the work schedule and everything that's coming into the fold, I'll have to see where I'm going to be on Monday. I have a job lined up in Wilsonville, which is about 20 minutes from my house. Should be for possibly the rest of the month and next month. But if we end up going on a national, lockdown, then we'll have to kind of see where everything goes. But there's been some news. Tom Brady, it's official. He signed on the dotted line. The story broke out on Tuesday, had to go through the physical, had to go through all the terminology to get everything done. But I am excited as a BUCS fan. As you guys know, I might be the only one there on planet Earth that still roots for the BUCS, but I imagine there'll be a few others that are going to be rooting for him as well. Gerald Black and Gold Light Toes, who dat? You dat. But the only problem is Andrews Pete, keeping him around. Get out of here. That's what I was hoping for you guys, getting someone better. Sounds like it's around a 5-year deal. I'm not sure if Saints fans are going to love that or hate that. Not really a big fan of him for what you guys are trying to do, win a Super Bowl and get to the NFC Championship game. Trey Holiday, who dat? You dat. The BUCS are a little scary, but it's a long season. NFC South, a beast for real, especially now with my BUCS. I was at that bottom feeder kind of area. Now it looks like the Falcons are going to be the bottom feeder, and then the Saints are at the top. The BUCS are kind of on the prowl, and then the Panthers, I think, slightly behind them. Detroit Red Wings fan 40, hey, congrats. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Carter Miller, my AEW boy. What it do? I ended up watching all of AEW, the Exalted One, Brody Lee, Matt Hardy. I mean, even with no fans, that was way better than anything WWE has put on for Raw or SmackDown. And it shows you, if you have that love for the brand, it makes it so much better. Travis Blankenship, $2. He says, I'm now a BUCS fan. Patriot convert. Hey, we'll take you, man. I get it, dude. Tom Brady is a legend, and I'm not expecting big things. I'm just going to see where it goes, but the culture is going to change. And guess what? Where is the Super Bowl next year? In Tampa Bay. TB, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay. Could you imagine by some kind of miracle if they could actually make the playoffs? Let's just start small, overachieve, right? And somehow get to the NFC Championship game. I mean, like I said, that would be the best case scenario. But even if they don't make the playoffs in the 2 years that Tom is there, just him changing the culture of everything that's happening in Tampa Bay. But realistically, with the roster that we have, and depending on if we get Jonathan Taylor and if we can actually make some moves, right, to really establish the offensive line, really establish the running back position, the defense, we might be able to make some noise. We went 7-9 last year. Did you guys know? With Tampa Bay and Jameis Winston, blind-ass Jameis Winston. Out of those 9 losses that they had with blind-ass Jameis Winston, 7 of them were by 7 points or less. Tom is not going to turn the ball over like Jameis Winston, even though he got the LASIK, right? The corrective eye surgery. And he threw 6 or 7 pick sixes. Tom doesn't throw those. So it's really exciting with the weapons that we have. Obviously with Gurley and Gordon. I was thinking, hey, they could be a piece that we could add. You know what I mean? But I didn't think really the Buccaneers wanted, an injured Todd Gurley. He went to the division with the Falcons on a prove-it 1-year deal. And then Melvin Gordon. Matthew Sanchez, $5. No more Jameis, no more picks, no more interceptions. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the fucking best fans on planet Earth. And I'm great to see how many fans are at home or at work, being able to chime in the chat. It's awesome, man. I can't wait to be able to see what happens. But if we get Jonathan Taylor, in the draft, or maybe Dobbins, Swift from Georgia, Akers, any of these guys, it's going to be such a game changer. The offensive line needs help with Dotson and, some of the pieces that we have there on the left tackle, right tackle position, so I get it. So, there is going to be some pieces on the offensive line. If we ended up picking that spot in the first round, I'm cool with that. Protect Tom Brady, but make sure to get a running back in the next round. We need to make sure we do that. Trey Holiday, congrats, he says. Carter Miller, what it do, my guy. Nova Flame, dude, Foles to the Bears was so shocked. For real. Right, and I'm not sure if that's really a good spot for him. It kind of sounds like a disaster. Kind of when with Gardner Minshew is there, now you have Nick Foles. He comes in, it doesn't work out. Everywhere Foles is gone, he's kind of struggled. Besides the Eagles, it shows you got to have a lot of talent around him. He's not going to be able to carry the team. He just needs to be a cog in that wheel that keeps spinning. And I don't like the move. It's almost like the Mike Glennon move going to the Bears. Trubisky, not good, right? Foles, is he going to be better than Trubisky? Probably a little, but how much more? Going from like a D in Trubisky to like a C minus in Foles. They don't have any weapons on the offense to help their job security, to help their offense run. Now the defense is lit for the most part, even though they didn't have as good of a season as the prior year. But why? Because Vic Fangio left, and once he left, they've never recovered. So I don't really know what to expect from the Bears. I'm not expecting a lot. They're going to be probably third or fourth, in the NFC North. Maybe Detroit even leapfrogs them, but I don't really like what Detroit's done in the offseason either. It looks like that the Vikings and the Packers have a kind of a stronghold in that division. Travis Blankenship says, now I'm a Bucs fan. Hey, hop on the ship. There's plenty of room, and now you're going to be able to see Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. We'll have to see what they do about that number. I hope Godwin gives the number up, because, like I said, do you really need the 12? I get it, where you went to college, Penn State, and then now you're on the Bucs, and I love you. But if he gives up the number, which he probably will, it's going to be exciting, man. And then, like I said, we get the running back positions sewed up, get some more pieces on the line. These next 2 years with Tom Brady, not only is it going to put Tampa on the map of being relevant, we can actually make some noise where we might be one of the top 7 teams, in the NFC. It's not crazy to say, hey, we might be actually respectable. And there's a chance in this year or the following year, hey, we might actually win the NFC South. I still give mad props and mad love and mad respect to Coach Payton and the Saints, so I'm going to put them at the top this year and next year, just depending on how things go. I'm going to have them, hey, you guys are the best. You guys have earned it. You guys have dominated for a long time, NFC South champs, many years in a row, but we're creeping. We are creeping, right? We are creeping close, and I really like to see what we're doing. They have a lot of depth on their roster, but if you look at our roster, we're slowly getting there, and I love that. It gives some relevance to the Tampa Bay Fanatic franchise. Obviously, season tickets are going to be crazy. People are going to want to go, and it sounds like other players are going to want to join Tom, and I don't really need AB. I don't need Antonio Brown, but it seems like maybe I'll get some others. Maybe Philip Dorsett from the Patriots will come over. I'm excited to kind of see where this goes in the next 2 years. It's going to be a whole transformation with Tom, and obviously we'll go with the contract details and everything as well once I acknowledge everyone in the building. Pierce says, I can't see one team in NFC South sweeping their divisional rival. The only one might be the Falcons. They might not be able to get wins, against these 3 other teams. The other 3, to me, are leaps and bounds ahead of the Falcons. Panthers with Teddy Two Gloves and the moves that they made. Not having Luke Kuechly is going to hurt, but we'll see where Cam Newton goes and where, his career ends up going to. But the Panthers, the Bucs, the Saints, it's looking good. There's a possibility you could have 3 teams in the NFC South, kind of like in the NFC West, where there's so much depth. Seahawks, Niners, Rams, Cardinals are even creeping. It's an exciting time with all this coronavirus going around that we can talk some NFL. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. And I normally don't do a stream this early like I mentioned, but when I got the call yesterday from the plant kind of, closing back and, scaling back their hours. I had a meeting with the temp agency. They got me a job already on Monday. If we're not on a national lockdown, there's a rumor that there might be a national lockdown. So if you don't have a certain type of, not necessarily just government job, but like a high tier job that's a necessity, a priority, there might be a nationwide shutdown for a month. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I want to work. I want to be able to have some money coming in. But if it does, I'll be obviously working on YouTube here, streaming and grinding, and we can talk NFL. But, it's just one of those things we're going to have to kind of wait and see. And I'll definitely update you, and you'll be updated on the news if you follow that, Twitter, and everything else. Let's see what here. So Gerald Black and Gold Light Toes, I'm a little mad about Pete. Shit, I would be too. That's the one guy you didn't want. Eli Apple. Trey Holiday says, at least Eli Apple gone. He was a liability, regardless if it's in the nickel or on the outside, right? He just couldn't cover, right? Decent career in college, decent career on the Giants, came into the New Orleans Saints just as kind of a role player, but he really didn't give me what I thought he was going to give the Saints, and I know Saints fans are happy that he's gone, but to be honest, between Andrews Pete and Eli Apple, I probably want Eli Apple there because it's a passing league now, especially Tom Brady, Teddy Two Gloves. You're going to have to go against that, Matt Ryan, right? Even though he's a liability at times, I'm not sure if Andrews Pete is worth the money, especially long-term now. So you really don't have any other options unless you draft one or he gets injured. And that worries me because he's definitely a liability. And he wasn't in college, but it shows you he got fucked up in the playoffs. I mean, he got dominated. But again, Danielle Hunter, Everson Griffin are two of the nicest, pass rushers in the league. So we will have to wait and see. Carter Miller says, I was super hyped yesterday when the Birds traded for Darius Slade. I would be too. Yes, please. Sign me up. I know that's going to be something the Eagles fans with the Malcolm Jenkins, they're not happy about that. The leadership, the OG, the triple OG. But if he goes back to the New Orleans Saints, right, they'll welcome him back with open arms. And then you get another guy in Darius, big play Slay. And I absolutely love his game. Better than advertised. He really doesn't get the recognition, in my opinion, that most people need to give him. Big play Slay gets some love in the media, but I think that when he gets in the right system with better players around him, Fletcher Cox and company, he's really going to be able to show his skill set. And like I said, I got the Eagles in the top in the NFC East based off the talent, based on who they're going to more than likely get in the draft if it's Ruggs, on the defense, the offense, the coaching. I love everything about Howie Roseman and company with the Eagles. No disrespect to the Cowboys and Redskins. They're going to be creeping. Giants at the bottom. Give them a couple more years with Daniel Jones getting some more help with Hernandez on the line, Will Hernandez and a few others when they'll draft and beef up the line, get some more weapons on the outside to complement Saquon, and the defense is that's a rebuild project for the Giants, as you guys know. But the Redskins with Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, starting over, right? Jack Del Rio on the defensive side. They're going to be creeping. So don't be surprised if they leapfrog Dallas or they're right on Dallas's heels. Same thing with the Eagles. You might have Redskins, Eagles, Cowboys all within a win of each other or two. It's going to be really close. You might have, 10 wins, 9 wins, 8 wins, or 11, 10, 8, 9. I mean, it's definitely possible. And who knows what will happen, because you usually have a worst to first or a third place team go to first or second. So there's definitely a lot of movement and a lot of expectations, because the Giants, we don't expect anything. But the Redskins, they normally just get beat up and injured. And that's not really necessarily due to self-inflicting wounds. No Plaxico Burress, bang, bang, shooting yourself in the foot or in the leg, right? So the Redskins, I think they're going to be able to do some big things. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a wild card the first or second year. You know what I mean? It's going to be tough because the Cowboys are going to be tough with what they got, with all their complements and pieces. Do I really trust McCarthy as a head coach? No, I don't, personally. And I still got the Eagles at the top. We just got to see if they can stay healthy, right, as far as the wide receiving crew, the tight end crew, everyone that they have. I absolutely love their roster. Let's see here. I'm glad the BUCS got Brady. Damn right. Sarah Small, Colts fan in the building. Obviously, as I go into the Ebron story, with Steelers, there's a lot of information that I'm going to go over, but I just want to make sure I acknowledge everyone in the building here. Travis Blankenship starting off the donations. $2 donation. I'm now a BUCS fan. Patriot convert. I'll take you. Ryan Schrick, O-Dog, is hyped. No more Jameis. You got to believe it. Schrick, I am so excited to not have to worry about all these close games. Last play of the game, a pick six. Fourth quarter, right there within 7 points and losing 7 out of 9 by 7 or less. So if you think about it, if I would have won all those games, which wouldn't have happened, right, if I had Tom last year, that's 14-2. So if you end up taking half of those, 10 or 11 wins just by, 7 points or less. 7 out of those 9 losses, right, being 7 and 9. We're by 7 points or less. And I know that Tom isn't going to turn the ball over. And even if the line isn't the greatest, depending on who they draft, if they get a nice compliment in the first round to help him out, he gets rid of the football quick. So he might not be able to run these RPOs like Lamar Jackson or have the athleticism like Patrick Mahomes. But in the pocket, even if the line isn't as good as maybe he had in the Patriots in years past, he knows how to get rid of the football. He's not going to take a lot of sack lunches, yum, 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 not a lot of pick sixes. So that's exciting for me, just to be close in games and to be able to be relevant again. Ryan Strick in the building. Carter Miller, I completely agree. AEW was great this week, especially when you had the wrestlers in the crowd, MJF, everyone that was there, screaming, yelling, drinking beer. That's what I told you. Remember, lumberjacks around the outside or just having some of the wrestlers in the crowd while they were actually doing their show. It was fun to watch. It wasn't with the fans there, but then bringing in the exalted one, Brody Lee, a.k.a., you know who it is, Brody Lee, Luke Harper, whoo! And then Matt Hardy joining the Elite, right, with the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega going against the Inner Circle. I mean, it's really fun point right now for me. I'm kind of off the WWE. I really am. I'm not really looking forward to WrestleMania. I was a big Seth Rollins guy, AJ Styles guy, the Shield. But everything that their product has been bringing out even prior to the coronavirus, to me, they're just tanking. They're just going downhill. The creative is not good. The wrestling isn't as good. AEW gives me that ECW, WCW feel. The writing is better. The wrestling is better. It's just a better brand to me. And I'm not sure how much WWE I can really watch. As a fan, I'm still going to watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all that. But it's definitely tanking to me. And AEW is definitely surging. Gerald Black and Gold Light Toes, Bucks better than the Falcons for sure. Damn right I am. And you could probably say that they're better than the Panthers too. Oh, look who it is. Marcus Hill in the building. Gang, gang, gang. Trey Hill. Marcus supposed to be working, but he said, fuck it. Multitasking at home. Trey Holiday. What'd it do? Ryan Strick says Marcus in the house. You have the 7th seed too. Gerald Black and Gold Light Toes, are you getting a Brady jersey with the new jersey? No, I am not. Because I only get players typically that are drafted from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just like some of y'all. And I typically don't get offensive jerseys. I get defense, like I got my Levante David on right now. Derek Brooks, my favorite player in the past. Levante David, a current favorite player. So typically, as great as Tom Brady is, legend, even if he gets me to the Super Bowl and I win or NFC Championship game or even just a playoff berth, a wild card berth, I'm not going to buy the jersey. But obviously I am going to be on board, anybody but Jameis. I mean, literally, I would be stoked for anybody but Jameis, but to be able to get Tom Brady and what he brings, even this old ripe age that he's at, it's exciting more than like an Andy Dalton or a Cam Newton or a Derek Carr, or these other guys that were kind of floating around, Phillip Rivers. Tom would definitely be very, very high on my list out of the guys that were available. Probably Ryan Tannehill would have been number 1 for me based off his age. And then if it wasn't Ryan Tannehill, probably Tom Brady would have been number 2 based off who was available at the time. Matthew Sanchez says, $5 donation. No more Jameis, no more interceptions. Damn right. Stunt for president. Vikings come close to going to Super Bowl, which their stadium hosted. Absolutely. Winston, the backup. For who? Not for me. For you? For the Redskins, Marcus? There was rumors, and then I know they got squashed. But what happens if Jameis goes to the Redskins as the backup? I wouldn't like that. You don't want to have any locker room issues with Haskins. You just want to be able to get Chase Young, get the deal done, and move on. But I wouldn't even want Jameis as my backup. No thanks. I already know what that's about, and I know you don't want him either. Gerald Black and Gold Light Toe said, what up, Marcus? Marcus finally in the building. The funny part is the new playoff structure. Not this year, it's next year. So we have 12 teams, right, just like we normally have this year. And then the following year, then we're going to go to 14. Sarah Small says Colts want to trade Brissett. Yeah, I like Jacoby Brissett way more than Jameis Winston. That's big facts. The Saints are sad about Jameis leaving, like the Chiefs fans are sad about Phillip Rivers leaving, less interceptions. And, Phillip Rivers is one of those guys, he and Jameis threw a bunch of interceptions. The arm strength is starting to go with him, but being on a team that has an amazing O-line led by Quentin Nelson, and then they have a lot of weapons there. I love the fit for the Colts. And obviously, regardless if Phillips stayed or not, or they get, Tua, or they get Herbert, whoever it is, on the Chargers moving forward. The Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders, they're nowhere near the Chiefs. So, I mean, they should be able to outright win that division for many years in a row until something happens, maybe by injury or some freak thing that happens. But I don't see really the Chiefs giving up that spot one bit. Stunt for President says BUCS Patriots Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Can you believe it? That'd be crazy. You can't hate Jameis for not wanting to wear contacts. Made no sense. Just wear contacts if you can't see. No kidding, right? Especially, over all these years and all these interceptions. And then now, more than likely, he should have a better year. You would think it's all about being able to see. That's step one, right? As a football player, at a quarterback, you got to see your weapons. But his decision-making, and that's really the problem. His decision-making, we're going to see. What is it? Was it because you couldn't see? Or is it because you couldn't see and the decision-making? Both were horrible. But now he can see, so you can't use that as an excuse. But I think his decision-making is the worst out of any quarterback in the NFL. So we'll see if he improves on that. And with better eyes, you think that he would, right? You would think. Playoff structure is not official until the following year, in 2021. He said, man, let's play Madden, Marcus. I know you were roasting while you were quarantined. I want to be able to put Tom Brady on the BUCS and try it out. The NFC South is turning into a bloodbath. Yep. John Roberts, Bills Mafia, coronavirus is going to make your channel soar. We'll see. We will see. BUCS versus Patriots, he says again, stunt for president. Tess, the best moderator in the business. For the price of a donut and coffee, you can help this channel build a YouTube studio extraordinaire. Please do. Patreon.com/NWSF, or you can go to the GoFundMe, www.gofundme.com. Type in NW space sports space fanatics. It'll have a picture of me and Marcus, kind of go over the details of what we're trying to do. Open up a studio here in the hometown for the dream, to make other people's dreams come true if they don't have the necessities or the equipment to be able to do that. And we can obviously help out with that. And that might take a couple years to be able to get there, but I'm still going to be doing it. Let's see here. Joshua says, Marcus, what's your ideal situation for the Skins with their pick? He'll be able to let you know. We finally get to see the real potential of the BUCS team, Pierce says. Definitely. Less interceptions, Strick says. Yeah, absolutely. We finally get to see if it was Brady or Belichick. But the thing is, it was both. Let's be real. Belichick is an amazing coach. Brady is an amazing quarterback. You know what I mean? And I think both of them are going to thrive, even not being with each other. Belichick can win, with pretty much anyone. We remember what happened when Brady ended up getting injured. Who stepped in? Was it Matt Castle? And he wasn't that great, and they still ended up winning 11-5, I believe, that year. So Belichick can do it, but Brady can too. So let's not get it twisted. It's not really one or the other. I think it's both. Said Pats would make it to the Super Bowl. Chiefs going and winning back-to-back, Ryan Trick says. Definitely possible. Redskins going to get that Tua. Well, I don't know what Marcus feels about that. He's probably thinking, no, Chase Young, you want the best available talent. But we'll have to see what happens with Burrow, if he stays with the Bengals or if the Dolphins or Chargers trade up to get him. Let's see here. Tua looks like Breeze, Gerald says. We will see. Back in 2017, 3 teams in the NFC South made the playoffs. Could happen again. Chiefs still the favorite to go and win again. Ryan Trick says, absolutely. They're the real deal, and they haven't really lost too many pieces as well. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen moving forward with the BUCS. Martial law coming soon. Government friend told me to stock up for 2 months. I heard that starting Monday, possibly they shut everything down for a month. So it might be nationwide. So we might have to start going to the grocery store again today or tomorrow to kind of jump the curve to be able to have at least some extra food. But at least I'll be on here grinding, and I'll be able to do some videos. And then Marcus once in a while will be able to hop in the chat. And then once all this blows over, he'll be able to hop in and we'll be able to do some videos together. So you want Tua, Marcus? That's a no, and I already know Marcus doesn't want him. Breaking, Marcus wants Tua. He doesn't want him. You know what I mean? You got to be able to go with the best player possible, and that's, me just knowing him. You want to go for a Chase Young, because Chase Young could be a Pro Bowl player, but a Hall of Fame player. You don't want to pass on something like that. That's like passing on a Khalil Mack, a Von Miller, and Aaron Donald. You just don't do it. If you were a Bears fan, Nova Flame says, do you A, hope for the best from Foles, or B, take another QB or offensive-related help in the draft, because we're pretty much not going to be good for a few years. I don't think that you should worry about getting anyone else if you're going to go Foles over Andy Dalton. Just suck this year. right? Be a bottom 5 team. Just do what you get from Trubisky and Foles. You're not going to be very good on the offense. The defense will hold you over. And then maybe you can trade up and get Trevor Lawrence. And then if the Bears get Trevor Lawrence, or just like how I wanted my Bucks to get him, but it looks like that's not going to be possible now with Tom Brady in the building for 2 years, then you're set. Then you're set for years to come. Trevor Lawrence on the Bears, he'll be able to make things, happen on any team that he goes to. So don't worry if you suck this year or next year, you know what I mean? They're going to be able to be quarterbacks that you might be able to draft to take over, because Trubisky ain't it, and neither is Nick Foles, and that's big facts. The only thing, Andrews Pete, is nothing was better out there. The only problem is Andrews Pete is nothing. Well, yeah, but fuck, man. The draft? I know you need a wide receiver, but the problem with them is not the wide receiver position necessarily. That's something you need to address in the first or second round, but get an offensive lineman. That's what I would have done, in this upcoming draft. Get someone to protect Drew Brees. That's huge. Better, because if you don't be able to protect Drew Brees and give him time, he's not going to get the ball to any of the weapons out there, and we saw that. Let's see here. Malcolm Jenkins was a horrible pickup. The only thing he's leading is the first person getting burnt. I don't think so. I mean, he's a little older, but he can at least give you leadership in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's all that bad, to me personally. Carter Miller says Eagles about to smack the Redskins around this year, Marcus. A little trash talk here in the chat. I see that. Atlanta's finest. Falcons are just as good. What are you smoking, dude? Let's be real, Atlanta's finest, or finest. All right? That's not true. Everyone in the chat will let you know the Falcons are at the bottom. You're not even close to the Panthers, right? Doesn't matter if Todd Gurley came there. It's an act of desperation. You're not anywhere near the BUCS, and you're nowhere near the Saints. So I'm sad to say it, bro, but the Falcons are going to be the bottom feeder of the NFC South for a few years. No Vic Beasley. Matt Ryan's getting older. No Devontae Freeman. Tell me why the Falcons are going to be first place or second place with everyone else. Teddy Two Gloves in Carolina with Matt Rule. Tom Brady with Bruce Arians, right? New Orleans Saints, Coach Payton and Drew Brees. No, yeah, you're nowhere near. Nowhere near that. And I'm just being completely honest, and everyone in the chat will let you know as well. Do you think Dak is going to end up holding out if they don't get a deal done? It just depends on if they do that, how much more money that they're going to have to pay him. The longer they drag it out, the money is going to be higher and higher and higher. So, I mean, if they don't believe it in Dak Prescott, which they don't, because if they did, they would have gave him the money like everyone else on the roster, DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper and Zeke, everyone else, right? So what that means to me is maybe go Jalen Hurts. And so that if you get Jalen Hurts in the draft, second or third round, fourth round, wherever he goes, then you get a guy that's almost a mirror image of Dak. You don't have to pay him as much, and then you can get more players to kind of beef around the offense and the defense. That's what I would do, because obviously the Cowboys do not believe in him 100%. There might be some belief, but not all the belief 100%. Yuri says, do you think the Patriots will draft a QB? It depends on if they want to make a splash and trade up like 20, 25 spots and get a Justin Herbert or a Tua, maybe the man of the future of the organization. Otherwise, they have options. And it shouldn't be Jameis Winston. It should be a guy like they can go Andy Dalton, they can go Carr, they can go Cam Newton. There's a few options out there, but it all depends. If they want to get their guy, the next Tom Brady, someone that's better than Stidham, right, then they're going to have to trade up and trade a lot of compensation and try to lock in Herbert, which would probably be the best fit for them. Justin Herbert could be like a Tom Brady 2.0, 3.0. They're going to have to build a lot of weapons around him, but Belichick could build something with Justin Herbert with the Patriots. But if they're not willing to give up that draft capital, they'll go for someone like an Andy Dalton, see how it goes, and then maybe the following year, maybe put all the eggs in the basket for Trevor Lawrence or someone else. So we'll see. There might be a big splash by the Patriots, just trading up really, really high and snagging someone like Tua or Herbert. It's definitely possible. Falcons need a new coach. Agreed. Never been the same since Kyle Shanahan. A defensive-minded coach whose defense sucks. A lot of good offensive players but can't capitalize. What NFC South team is that? Bucks versus Patriots again. Saints with a healthy AK-41. WWE is Disney, Pierce says. AEW is Nickelodeon. Screw the Saints. I mean the Aints. Atlanta's finest. Yeah, well, obviously the Saints and the Falcons have that rivalry, right? But we have to be real with ourselves as far as fans. When the Bucks were at the bottom of the barrel, I said it, I admitted it, and then if you overachieve, it's great. but you're definitely on the bottom of the barrel right now, and it's going to take a lot for that franchise to get back to where they were with the 28-3, getting to the Super Bowl, and even though they didn't come out on top, right, they haven't been the same without Kyle Shanahan. So it shows you it's not about the players on the team, it's the coaching. And the coaching has definitely not been the same. And that's not me talking shit. That's just me being real. I'm a fan of all the teams. I want to see Julio succeed. I want to see Calvin Ridley succeed. I want to see the defense succeed. Deion Jones, when he was on there, was exciting. When Vic Beasley was on the team, even though he's not there anymore, was exciting. They had nice pieces, except they just got hurt all the time. So we're going to have to see where it goes, and no more Devontae Freeman as well. Let's see here. Bucks need a left tackle. You can have Trent for a third. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks. I'd rather get one in the draft. Let's see here. So honestly, you should not be talking, Trey Holiday says. I will be nice, but don't jam on my Falcons. Hey, I'm just being real as fans. When my Buccaneers sucked, and they have since 2007, I admitted it. I'm just making sure that right? It's not talking shit. Everyone in the room, it doesn't have to even be a Saints fan against you. Let's be real, have realistic expectations. You shouldn't have any expectations next year, and if you end up getting second place in the NFC South, you did big things. Everyone would be shocked. So you never know. You got to be humble about it. But right now, you're going to be looking up at those other three teams because the other three teams have made a lot of improvements to the roster. The Falcons really haven't improved the roster at this point. Doesn't mean that they can't, right? But they've lost a lot of pieces. No Devontae Freeman, right? No Vic Beasley. It's going to be tough. We'll have to see what they do in the draft, but I'm excited to see what they do because it would be nice to have all four teams relevant, and that's big facts. Let's see here. Panthers fan, he said, fuck the Panthers, his own team. Treated Cam like shit. He said, fuck Teddy, I'm supporting the XFL to bring a Carolina team. Bro, Teddy Two Gloves has a connection with Matt Rule. It's going to work out better than you think, and if he can stay healthy, it's possible that you guys even have a better season than the Buccaneers. Facts. So I wouldn't be all down on that. And like I said, if you ended up keeping Cam, right, and then he ended up tearing his ACL in September, or he can't run or throw and ends up having a horrible year, 15 touchdowns and like 28 picks, then what are you going to say? Fuck Cam Newton, right? We should have got someone else. So you got to look at it from, both angles. It's a double-edged sword. He's getting older. Obviously, he's the face of the franchise. Luke Kuechly's not there. This is a whole new regime. This is no longer Riverboat Ron. He's going to want to go for, his guys' Rule that's there. Just saying. So don't worry about it, man. I think it's really going to end up being better than you think. The thing is, now you got to be able to replace Luke Kuechly, right? Isaiah Simmons would be great. Don't think you're really going to be able to get him there, but that would be a piece that you could replace, what Luke Kuechly brought to that organization. And you still have Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey, and Bridgewater ain't going to turn the ball over. You know what I mean? He just has the injury issues, from the past. Let's see here. Getting closer and closer to getting caught up. We've seen Falcons fans start to fight with the Saints fans. I haven't seen Falcons fans in the building on the channel for a year or two. Where have you been? Where have the Falcons fans been? But at least you're here now, so I'll take it. I've never heard a fan base blame the refs more in the playoffs than the Saints fans. It's absolutely hilarious. But they have a valid point, Carter. I mean, I know you and me are AEW boys, right? But the thing is, you got to look at Minneapolis Miracle, certain plays in that game, obviously the non-pass interference call. If you don't even want to talk about the Minneapolis Miracle, and if you want to look on how that game was officiated, you can't tell me that you wouldn't be mad if you were the Saints and then you played the Rams and that happened and that took your chance away of winning a Super Bowl. I mean, and it was clear. It was clear. And there definitely is going to be some frustrations there. You know what I mean? I get what you are saying from the outside, but you got to put yourself in the shoes of these hardcore Saints fans. And if that was your team, you wouldn't let it go either. It would take a long time. That's what you got to do. Put yourself in the fans' shoes. Just saying. I'm getting closer and closer. Tess, the best moderator in the building. I'm getting closer and closer. Sarah Small says, Orion, you're amazing. You are amazing. Appreciate you very much. Panthers are no competition without Cam Newton. I disagree. I strongly disagree. As long as you got Run CMC in the building and this new coaching staff, it's going to revitalize the organization. Like I said, you don't know how good you're going to be. You might be looking up to Tampa Bay and the Saints, right? But the thing is when you bring in new people, it brings in a little excitement, and you don't really know what to expect. But you might be able to overachieve. It all depends on this draft and who you're going to be able to get, and that's facts. Let's see, I'm getting closer and closer of getting caught up here. And here we go. The Atlanta finest, thinnest, says the BUCS are the basement boys in the South. You won't be saying that shit when you guys end up being 5-11, 4-12, 3-13. You know what I mean? And then you see the BUCS at maybe 10-6, 9-7. Even the Panthers will probably be more wins at that point. Don't make everyone laugh in the chat here. I don't know if this is a troll account or if you're really an Atlanta Falcon fan. I'm not sure. I am not sure. All right, let's take a quick look at the contracts. Since I finally caught up with everyone, let's get in here and kind of go over everything here. So Tom Brady's contract, $10 million roster bonus, $15 million salary each year, fully guaranteed. I love that. Up to $2.25 million each year, tied to top 5 in passer rating, touchdowns, yards, completion percentage, and yards per pass, and up to $2.25 million each year, tied to playoffs plus playing time, which obviously would be Tom Brady, Super Bowl and playing time. Base $50 million, max $59 million. And after the 2 years, no trade clause, no tagging, so he might want to play longer than the 2 years until 43 in August, 44, and then after that, depending on what success he brings Tampa Bay, maybe one more year to 45 and to walk off in the sunset. So I'm really excited to see where it goes at that point. You never know what Tom Brady's going to be able to do, and with 3 solidified pieces, 2 proven, and 1 that's going to be a head coach in the future, Byron Leftwich. You got Bruce Arians, that's the head coach. Right, he knows how to get Carson Palmer and these guys at the end of their careers a little older to get them into a good position, right? Then you go with Byron Leftwich, the coach of the future, the OC. He's going to get an opportunity. And if those guys leave, I got Todd Bowles still. And then Todd Bowles can get it done. So I'm really excited to see what this brings for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's a big fact. So it's official. Tom Brady to buy Buccaneers plus Gurley, Gordon, Ebron, free agency news. It's a frenzy. A Bucks fan reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy like Travis Blankenship did, $2. Matthew Sanchez, my boy, $5. I appreciate you guys very much. You also can donate at patreon.com/NWSF, or you go to our GoFundMe, www.gofundme.com. And then you can type in NW space sports space fanatics, and that'll go over all the details on what we're trying to do for building the YouTube studio here in my hometown. So let's go over kind of chronologically how everything happened this morning with everything with the new moves. So safety, Clinton Dix reaches a deal with the Cowboys. So he's going from team to team to team. We've seen him bounce around, from the Packers and then moving on to the next team. Now he's with the Cowboys. So we'll see where that goes. Safety, Clinton Dix has reached a deal with the Dallas Cowboys to stay in the division. His agency, Sports Trust Advisors, announced the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports the deal is for 1 year, $4 million, with $2.5 million guaranteed. Hasn't really been the same for a couple years. So we'll see where he really goes after this year. I'm not sure how much game he really has left. Normally, Alabama players are solid unless your name is Trent Richardson. So we'll see what that does for them. If I was the Cowboys, I would be looking at like McKinney or Delpit, in the draft. That's where you really need to go. Oh my God, Andrews Pete, 5-year, $57.5 million, $33 million guaranteed. Tess, and that was what I was saying with Gerald. What are you guys doing? That's the one spot you didn't want to fucking pay that kind of money. And if you were, and I know there's not a lot out there, right? A 1 year deal. 1 year deal. Don't fucking lock him in when he's a liability on the line. Eli Apple's a liability. You let him go, right? And I know you need wide receiver, Ayuk, Jefferson, you know what I mean? Unless you want to trade up, maybe you can get a Ruggs or someone like that, but realistically, it'll probably be like an Ayuk from Arizona State or Jefferson from LSU. But in reality, it would be better for them to be able to get an offensive lineman in that position or trade a few spots up to get one of the top tier linemen, somewhere in that 20 to 25 range. So I don't know what to think about it because Drew Brees needs help. He needs help on the line. And then if you get your wide receiver there, let's say you get Jefferson, right? But the line still stays pretty much the same. You might have the same results. You get to the playoffs, you play a team that has a good pass rush, right? And if he doesn't have enough time to be able to make the reads, that's fumbles that get, on the ground and scooped up for touchdowns, pick sixes, interceptions. And that's not like Breeze is turnover prone. But if he doesn't have enough time to go to AK-41, Michael Thomas, can't guard Mike, the best fucking wide receiver in the game, Jared Cook, and these other pieces, It concerns me. So I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we'll have to kind of see where it goes. Next up, we got a Falcon fan in the building, which I haven't seen in like 2 years, which is crazy. So I don't know if it's a real Falcon fan, someone that's want to just troll, or if it's Skip. I don't think it's Skip, because he would have came out and he would have, been like Deion Sanders from the Falcons, or he would have did Jamal Anderson. He would have been one of the older players, Chris Chandler, and then it started talking trash to everyone in the room. So we'll see. We'll see if the Falcons fans come out of the woodworks. We haven't seen too many of them on the channel, just based on their team not really being as good, but sometimes that happens. But the Falcons agreed to terms with running back Todd Gurley. So the Rams didn't want to pay the money. He's got a knee issue. All the Ramily and the Rams fans told me, Orion Marcus, he's fine. He's fine. The Ramily says he's fine. And me and Marcus were like, guess what? He's not fine. We knew he wasn't going to be okay. Right? And it proved it in the Super Bowl and the year after. Now they got Malcolm Brown and a few other pieces that they can move forward with. But it's sad for a guy to be a top running back, top 2, top 3 for a few years. And then now you're on a prove-it deal. And I didn't really want him. You know what I mean? You can do running back by committee, but it's like he can't be a starting running back in the league anymore. He has to be a second string, a thunder to a lightning. And not from the 20 to the 20. You only want to put him in maybe like on the 10 going into the end zone, like, just to split up the carries, like maybe like a second down carry or a halfback dive. You know what I mean? You can't really expect too much from him. Can he help a team out? Yeah, but not worth the money to me. I'm Swift from Georgia, Akers. There's so many other options. Dobbins. My favorite, Jonathan Taylor. I'd rather have any of those guys rather than Gurley, and I'm rooting for him. I hope that he can overcome the knee injury, but it's almost like Brandon Roy with the bone on bone in his knee. You just knew he went from rookie of the year, all-star, and then nothing. And then Minnesota Timberwolves, and then his career was over. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck, man, I don't want to see a guy fall off like that, but some guys' bones are brittle, some guys are injury prone, and sometimes guys never recover from that, and it's tough. Well, that didn't take long. After being released by the Rams on Thursday afternoon, running back Todd Gurley has gone back to Georgia, where he obviously played college ball, agreeing to terms on a 1-year deal with the Falcons. So that might have something to do with it, going back to his old stomping grounds. But, I mean, to me, if I'm the Falcons, that's desperation. You could have went for someone better than that. You lost Devontae Freeman, who was a top-tier back, got hurt, never recovered. Now you're bringing in another guy with a worse situation in Todd Gurley. I don't know if he can even play the full season. If that's your lead back, you're in trouble. Yeah, you got Matt Ryan. Yeah, you got Todd Gurley. Yeah, you got Julio. But can they all stay healthy throughout the year? To me, that's going to be the bottom team, in the NFC South. I think the Panthers, I think the BUCS, and the Saints will be considerably better. So we'll see where it goes. Tom Brady. Let's go, baby. Finally gets the deal. And on IG, I'll just read what he wrote. Excited, humble, and hungry. If there's one thing that I've learned about football, it's that nobody cares what you did last year or the year before that. You earn the trust and respect those around you through your commitment every single day. I'm starting a new football journey and thankful for the Buccaneers. Let's go, baby. The Buccaneers for giving me an opportunity to do what I love to do. I look forward to meeting all my new teammates and coaches and proving to them that they can believe and trust in me. I believe in Tom, and like I said, anybody but Jameis. And then I ended up getting a top 2 option besides Tannehill to come to the roster. And he's going to bring more than what Tannehill would have been able to bring just based off his experience, his Super Bowl wins, and that mystique, that aura about Tom Brady. This is going to change my franchise forever. Even if he's only on my team for 2 years, it's really going to change moving forward, what it's like to have that championship mentality. It'll bring some more free agents that want to come to my roster that never would have want to even consider Tampa Bay. That's exciting. I have always believed that well done is better than well said. So I'm not going to say much more. I'm just going to get to work. #year1, P.S. Jack Brady with the photo cred. Love it, man. I absolutely love it. Tom Brady to my Buccaneers. Woo! Feels so good to get that done. And I know after Tuesday, some people were saying, hey, it's Wednesday. Where's the deal? Thursday. Uh-oh. Is he going to the Chargers? Is he going somewhere else? But it's just getting the language in the contract settled in to make sure that he gets everything, all the T's crossed, all the I's dotted. Buccaneers give Tom Brady some protection, sign offensive lineman Joe Haig. We need more than that, though, than Joe Haig. We definitely need some more protection up front. The Texans bring back offensive tackle Roderick Johnson on a 1-year deal. Bears safety Deion Bush reach an agreement on a 1-year deal. This is the one. Saints keep OG, not even OG, offensive guard, not OG, triple OG, right, like Malcolm Jenkins. Andrew Pete in place with a 5-year deal. Head scratcher. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. The Nyland Saints have agreed to re-sign offensive lineman Andrew Pete to a 5-year contract, and most of the grades that I've been seeing are a C grade or D grade. I know that Coach Payton has got the coronavirus, so I'm not sure if he was in the building to say, hey, Andrew Pete, or someone took the reins for him. Some of the other coaches were like, we'll take care of it, coach. And then they're like, all right, 5-year deal. And then he sees that. He's like, what? What happened? Don Shingo in the building all the way from Germany. Fly, Eagles, fly. Darius Slay, big play Slay for you. That's huge. Let's see what Gerald says. Says, Orion, you have the biggest smile ever, looking like a teenage girl with a crush. Man, I was like that when the Saints got Reggie Bush. For real, I am super excited. Another big deal right now, Eric Ebron, a guy that was able to, start his career off, with the Lions with Matthew Stafford, then went to go play with, Andrew Luck and company and Brissett. Now he's on the move to play with Big Ben. Big Ben's got a target. I like it. Steelers reach a 2-year, $12 million deal with Eric Ebron. That's nice. And I think that no one's really talking about the Steelers in the media. This is going to be a nice piece, with Big Ben and James Conner, the Terminator. They're going to have a lot of pieces there. They have a lot of wiggle room to be able to kind of get closer and closer to not only the Chiefs and the Ravens, but to compete with New England, the Chargers, the Colts, right? And a few other teams like Tennessee to see what they can do. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on how all that goes. I'm excited to see the progression, the chemistry. I mean, it still isn't the same, when you had Big Ben, AB, Juju, Le'Veon Bell, everyone that was there prior. But we'll see where it goes. ATL arguing. We got Panthers fans. We got Saints fans. We got Falcons fans. We got BUCS fans. We got the whole NFC South in here. It's going to be fun moving forward. I can't, I'm really excited about it. And then a lot of the chats and a lot of the conversations that we're going to have, in the future, you're going to have Giants fans, Redskins fans, right? Cowboys fans, Eagles fans. So there will be a lot of chiming and a lot of back and forth. So I absolutely love it. Ravens ship Chris Wormley to the Steelers in a rare trade between AFC North rivals, which normally doesn't happen at all. Source, ex-Chargers running back Melvin Gordon, running back, agrees to the Broncos, which was something that Tampa Bay, Marcus sent me a message. Hey, you think Tampa Bay, might be in the running? But I don't really want a Melvin Gordon or a Melvin Gordon or a Todd Gurley, right? I want someone new, a young beast, a 3-down. I want my Josh Jacobs, like the Raiders got last year. I want my Jonathan Taylor. You know what I mean? I want to start new and fresh, someone that can catch the ball. Had some fumbling issues in college, quite a few fumbles, but can catch out of the backfield. You got Swift. Swift can do it too. So there's option Dobbins, Swift, Akers. I like Jonathan Taylor the best, though, for what he can bring to the organization. I'm really excited to see where it goes. But Los Angeles Chargers running back Melvin Gordon reached an agreement on a 2-year, $16 million deal, $13.5 million guaranteed with the Broncos. Got a D+ grade from a lot of people in the media. I got my boy Jay Graves. You already got, Phillip there. So you end up you have some pieces there at the running back position, already in stone. So that's going to be, kind of a thunder and lightning, what you're kind of trying to do there. I just don't really know how that's going to fit with their roster. I mean, I'm not really sure what that's going to bring, for them. I'm not sure. It kind of could work out great, especially if there's injuries there, but then also it could backfire. So I'm kind of concerned to see where it goes. Let's see here. Hope I'm just overreacting about losing Cam. You are, because that was the guy. And you should be more upset you lost Luke Kuechly than fucking Cam Newton. Come on, man. You'll be all right. Things will be okay. OBJ's on the trade block. Bart Scott said, where do you think he might go? I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers get him. New regime seems not scared to make a move. Packers would be nice. Aaron Rodgers needs another weapon. I know they'll probably get one in the draft. I mean, I don't know how much capital that they'll give up for him, but we'll see. We will definitely see. Let me take a quick look here to see if there's any other news of anything that I missed. So let's take a quick look here. Let's look. Let's take a quick look here. So Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman, now Melvin Gordon. So you're starting to get a little stability there. But like I said, I'm not sure if I'm sold on Drew Lock and what they're going to be able to bring at the organization for the Broncos. And with all that being said, right, you're looking up at the Chiefs, the Raiders, right, the Broncos. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be probably a long road. The Chargers, it's going to be probably a long road. But maybe if they get Herbert on the Chargers, maybe that's the team that will be able to try to get close to compete and be there, you know, with the Chiefs. But for a while, we'll have to see where it goes. Maybe Melvin Gordon can prove himself. Maybe not. Veteran defensive end Everson Griffin says goodbye to the Vikings. This could be a big pickup. This is one of the better players that's available. I'm really excited to see, because single-handedly, the Saints lost the playoff game against the Vikings due to Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin's pressure. So Everson Griffin had some mental issues, overcame that. He's a beast. I want to see where he goes. DN Everson Griffin, who spent 10 seasons in Minnesota after being drafted by the franchise in the 4th round. Definitely a 4th-round talent that's played like a 1st-round talent. We'll see where he goes. Obviously, Clowney's not off the board either, so we'll see where that goes as well. But I am excited. I'm excited to see where these other pickups go. There's a few other players. You know, where's Jameis going to go? Where's Cam Newton going to go? We have a few more pieces to kind of cover and go over. And then obviously with football, let's see what they're showing here. Colts and Chargers on NFL Network. They had the Buccaneers versus the Rams in the matchup earlier in the year in September, early October, when they beat the Rams when they were 3-0. I know there's some college football I think that I want to check out here that's on SEC Network. Let's take a quick peek. It is Georgia and Florida from last year. Yes, please. Let's watch that. Let's see what's going on. But I appreciate every single person in the building. It's official. Tom Brady to my Buccaneers, plus Todd Gurley on the move to the Falcons. Melvin Gordon to the Broncos. Free agency frenzy, a Bucs fans reaction. It's your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy either on here or through patreon.com/NWSF. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. You can also go to our GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com, NW space sports space fanatics, and then it'll go over a picture of me and Marcus to be able to kind of go over the dream project of opening up a YouTube studio here in my hometown. Want to make other people's dreams come true. So I'm watching here Georgia and Florida, and I'll be obviously watching Swift at the running back position, watching Henderson at corner, watching a lot of the pieces on SEC Network or on NFL Network is fun because you can really see some of the positioning in the draft because there's going to be a lot of moves. Ooh, what a big hit. All over Swift. But it's exciting to be able to see some of the offensive linemen as well, to see what they're going to do, because I don't think anyone's really talking too much about the offensive linemen that are going to be available in the draft. I mean, I think it's one of those things that it should be talked about more and more because you really want to be able to protect your pieces moving forward, and especially with Drew Brees, Tom Brady. You know, there might be some shockers, you know, as far as people getting picked up with offensive linemen over some of the other players. So let me see here if I have any other options. So one sec here as I'm scrolling through. Let's take a look at NFL's app and see if they have any breakdowns. And let's see here. Let me pull up XFL expansion team, Chicago, Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'd love to be able to have some expansion with the XFL, but it all depends with this coronavirus and how everything goes. I think that they had a pretty successful, debut season. It was better than the AAF that we had previously. So, I mean, it's one of those things, if we can just get sports going again, NFL, XFL, NBA, MLB. I mean, I'm really excited for the MLB season coming up. Get wrestling back on track with the fans. I'm going to scroll up here and to see if I can go through some of the comments. Let's see here, and then we'll go here. So let's see. Travis Blankenship says the Bucs are going 14-2 in the Super Bowl. I don't know about that. So honestly, the Bucs are contenders, Trey Holiday says. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll in. Saints and Bucs in that division. Thank you. Ooh, got myself some food. Let's look at this. Oh, some cheese and some bacon and some potatoes. Looking good. I'm going to go through some of the comments here, obviously, before I start getting into the food. Let's see here. Atlanta, he said, the only thing y'all did last season was boost crowd noise into your stadium. Shots fired. I just don't think you can really blame the Rams for the refs being idiots. Well, I mean, it's not, like I said, blaming the Rams or, the refereeing and the calls. I mean, you got to think, if you're like in the NFC Championship game or deep in the playoffs and then you lose like that and you had a Super Bowl caliber team that could have won the Super Bowl, Saints versus the Pats, I mean, the Saints could have maybe pulled that out. Bringing another Super Bowl home. I mean, that's why people are mad. It's not like it was a regular season game. You know what I mean? Which would have still been a lot of controversy, but it was the fact that it was for the going to the big dance. Maybe sports karma. That's why the Rams maybe didn't get that dub. In the end, you went against Tom Brady. It was really low scoring, but it is what it is. Let's see here. I'm gonna keep scrolling down. Saints fans love that move for Pete. Yeah, that's a no. They absolutely do not love that move. They're gonna be going crazy later tonight if I do another. If I do another live stream going over those moves. Chicago, Atlanta, XFL teams. Yeah, we'll see. Those would be good spots for them. Pat's about to miss the playoffs. I don't think so. I think that depending on who they get at quarterback, I think that they could still win the division, or if they don't win the division, be a wild card team. If the Bills surpass them with the Stephon Diggs, right, and Josh Allen has another year under his belt and the Bills finally take over in the AFC East, who's to say that the Pats can't get to 9 or 10 wins? Depending on who their QB is. Andy Dalton, Cam Newton. What if they trade up and get Justin Herbert? I mean, I don't think it's going to be where they're just going to fall off the face of the earth previously, that we've never really seen them. If you got Belichick there, they're going to, keep doing the work. Let's see here. Did you guys see a corner, Browner, go to prison for attempted murder? I did that. Probably for killing the Saints for that year that he was with us. LOL. Ooh, Gerald. Well, Trey Holiday says, we have Jenkins, though. Jenkins plays safety. True that. Darius Slay, a corner. Maybe our secondary might be good. Orion, you have the biggest smile. I know I do. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Fly, Eagles, fly. Shingo in the building from Germany. Y'all act like when one team loses in the playoffs for so many years, y'all act like you're going to stay there. Saints are contenders coming from a butthurt Panthers fan right now. Yeah, I'm a Bucs fan. I already know what it is. They're nice, and they've been nice for a long, long time. So you think the Bears get Lawrence if they play their cards right? I'd be okay with that. You should be more than okay with Trevor Lawrence. If you get Trevor Lawrence on your team, you're going from, like a pre-Andrew Luck to Andrew Luck. Pre-John Elway to John Elway. I mean, you're getting a guy that's intelligent, that can make the throws. Yeah, they got torched, in the championship game by Joe Burrow and LSU, but that team was just better overall. But I like Trevor Lawrence just as much as Joe Burrow, Herbert, or Tua, or better. I mean, I really think that he could be the guy, and that could change the franchise. There's going to be a lot of other teams that aren't the greatest that are going to be, around that 1 to 5 win range, but if the Bears, like I said, prior to this Tom Brady situation, if I had a couple bad years, that would be the guy that I would want on my franchise moving forward, a guy that I could have for 10 years, a stud, someone that, you could really believe in, you know what I mean? It's not those long locks that you got to believe in. It's his arm. It's his brain. It's the decision-making. You know what I mean? He's got it. I love Trevor Lawrence just as much as Burrow, Tua, even my own guy Herbert from the Ducks. I think I like him the best, personally. All right, let's keep going down here. Said, I hope I'm just overreacting about losing Cam. Yeah, you are. OBJ, maybe the Packers. We'll see where it goes. Troll comments, not judging. Nova Flame says, hey, there'll be a lot of those around. I have a good feeling, Carter Miller says, that if the Eagles front office gets Wentz, speed weapons, you'll have another MVP candidate type of season. Of course. Everyone said, he's going to get injured. But what happened? Everyone else got injured. Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, everyone. except for pretty much Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert for the most part. They were pretty good to go for a good chunk of the year, but everyone around him at the wide receiving core got hurt, and throwing for the yardage that he had, like 4,000 yards, no one over 500. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for Carson Wentz. And Ruggs should be the one that they have their eye on. Henry Ruggs, you know what I mean? That could be like a Deshaun Jackson all over again. Someone that's got the cheetah speed, not named Tyreek the Freak Hill. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I think it's a good spot for the Eagles, and it's a good spot for Ruggs. With all the weapons around there, you might have to trade up, a few spots to get him, but he would be worth it. He's got the speed, and you can't teach speed. You either got it or you don't. I already missed Jenkins. He was the heart and soul of the defense. He was, Shingo. But, you ended up bringing in Darius Big Play Slay. Even though it's from a safety to a corner, I think you're going to fall in love with Big Play Slay. I'm not sure if you've watched the Lions play Shingo in Germany or know anything about Darius Slay. I know you watch a lot of football and a lot of teams, mostly Philly teams, and the Eagles. He's nice. He's going to really be a fan favorite in Philly for years to come. I actually found the touchdown song for the Saints they play in the Dome. Nice. Now the press is trying to say that Mardi Gras Nolens was a vast coronavirus hotbed. Uh-oh. I know there was a lot of people that were getting it, and then if we go through this national lockdown, which is rumored, it's already happening in some states across the U.S. I think Odin's Child, one of the big fans in the building that always donates and always comes in the chat, saying that in New York, they're planning on doing that for Monday. So if we start hearing some news today or tomorrow or Sunday that they're locking it down nationwide for a month, grocery stores are going to be crazy. Winco, Costco, Safeway. I mean, people are going to be beating each other up for not just toilet paper, but everything. Like, how are the stores going to handle the food? I mean, if everyone has to stay, unless it's like an essential job, for food, they're going to run out of food. It could be a real crisis. I mean, we're going to be able to hang out on YouTube and whatnot, and but money's going to be thin. And I mean, if they allow people to pay mortgages and rents late, and some of the bills late because of it, that would be nice. But it's just going to be a crazy situation. You're going to have to get like the troops from overseas to come back to hold like a riot squad, so people don't start breaking into electronic stores and buildings, and just try to take advantage of the situation. So we'll see. But keep an eye out on the news, and if I read anything, which I read about 6 to 8 hours a day, I'll keep you posted. But it'll be breaking on Facebook, Insta, IG, Twitter, if it ends up happening. So I would recommend, if any of y'all, have a little extra money, $50, $100 extra, you may want to go to the grocery store today, like Big Facts today or tomorrow, just to be able to lock in a little bit more food, just in case, so that way you don't have to go last minute. And if you go Saturday or Sunday and they announce it, I mean, it's going to be crazy, because there might be one person that buys like $400 or $500, and then the grocery stores start getting empty, and you're going to be having to travel from store to store to store, and you may not want to do that. So just a little heads up there from what I've been hearing nationwide. Let's see here. Don't be surprised if the Eagles take O-liner in the first round. They could, but Ruggs would make more sense. You're not going to be able to get that kind of talent. I mean, there's a lot of talent that you can end up getting, obviously in the draft, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to, wait and see where it goes. But I don't know, man. Offensive line to me is going to be more beneficial, moving forward. Let's see here. Let's take a quick look at some of the mocks here and whatnot. See if there's any updated news. Tess says, hope you guys and gals are enjoying the live chat. Thumbs up if you like it. Sub to it. Heart it. Appreciate that. Tess, the best in the building. Panthers fan, you crazy. Let's see here. I love Big Play Slay. Jim Shorts drafted him. That's a great point. He wants him in Philly for more than a year. He's going to be a great fit, man. You're going to fall in love with him. Trust me. I would take Big Play Slay in a heartbeat. Not even thinking about it. I mean, he's that good of a player. I really like what he's going to be able to bring to that organization, especially with Jenkins gone. You're going to have to see where it goes. Let's see here. All right, so let's take a quick look on some of the moves in the draft, just based off positioning. So Burrow, Bengals, Chase Young, and then obviously you're going to have Okudah more than likely go to the Lions, based off, Slay being gone. That would make sense. Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle from Alabama, could go as high as 4. So that'll be an interesting piece to see because these offensive linemen are going to be very coveted. And they might not be sexy, but if you get these awesome offensive linemen, Tristan Wirfs, another one. I'm not sure if you're going to try to get him at 5 to the Dolphins because you probably want Tua or Herbert. But Wills, offensive tackle from Alabama. Wirfs, offensive tackle from Iowa. These guys are OGs, triple OGs. I would love to Tampa Bay to get some of that to protect not only Tom Brady, but to have a piece for some leadership, in the building. Andrew Thomas is another one, offensive tackle from Georgia. I know that, Tampa Bay is going to need some other pieces, a running back, some secondary help. But I won't lie. I wouldn't mind getting Andrew Thomas from Georgia, offensive tackle. I have some issues with DeMar Dotson and some of the pieces that I have on the line. As long as he ends up not getting hurt and he could be a nice piece moving forward to protect Tom Brady, pull for Tom Brady, run block, pass block, I wouldn't mind it. C.J. Henderson, corner, is going to be someone that's going to be drafted early. Jerry Jeudy, Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle from Louisville. Right, so you have 4 offensive tackles that could be off the board within the first, 13 or 14 picks. Jordan Love, quarterback, unproven. We don't know how good he's going to be. I don't think he'll be as good as Justin Herbert, Tua, or Burrow, or Trevor Lawrence next year, but we'll see what happens. Javon Kinlaw, I know some people had the BUCS trying to go for him at D tackle. I'd rather get Jonathan Taylor, or try to end up getting Andrew Thomas. It just depends if I want to go tackle or trade down and then maybe accumulate some picks and then try to get Jonathan Taylor or get him in the next round. AJ Espinosa, edge rusher from Iowa. Xavier McKinney, that's a nice piece. I was thinking the Cowboys could use a piece like that. Herbert, Kenneth Murray is nice, linebacker from Oklahoma. Ruggs, pick 21. He'll be in that wheelhouse right there. T. Higgins will be around that range for Buffalo, but they just got Stephon Diggs, so we'll see where that goes as well. But Henry Ruggs to the Eagles could really make a big push on taking them to the next level. Christian Fulton, corner, could be someone that the Saints are looking at. I mean, they need pieces, right? Even though they ended up, losing out on Malcolm Jenkins. But we'll see. Wide receiver, corner, the future quarterback, Grant Delpit, safety, will be in the mix in the late first round. DeAndre Swift, running back that I'm watching right now with Jake Fromm on Georgia. It could be a kind of a steal depending on where he goes. I would take him on Tampa Bay. Austin Jackson, another offensive tackle at USC that's nice, late first round. Marlon Davidson, edge rusher from Auburn. He is great. And then you got Trayvon Diggs, corner, Alabama. All these Alabama players, this is off the chain. Joshua Jones, another offensive tackle. A.J. Terrell, maybe for the Niners from Clemson. There's so many good picks that are going to be floating around. So it's exciting to kind of see what's going to happen. We have a lot of time from now and obviously the draft, but it's exciting to see where it goes based off the players. And that's a big fact. So it's official. Tom Brady to my BUCS plus Gurley, Gordon. Free agency news from a BUCS fan. It's your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, like Travis Blankenship did or Matthew Sanchez did, or through patreon.com/NWSF. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Well, I appreciate you guys very much. Like I said, I'm just watching football. I was just a little bored. I didn't work today because obviously the warehouse that I was working at is starting to scale back with some of the temps and with the orders that they're getting. But I already got a new spot from the temp agency starting Monday, as long as we don't go on a nationwide lockdown. But I have a job at another warehouse. It's kind of like a fishing and tackle, kind of like a Cabela's type place, but a warehouse, more for like fishing lures and fishing stuff. Fishing apparel, that's going to be in Wilsonville, and I'll be doing that next week, and then I might even be able to have that job through all of April as well, so we're going to have to kind of see where it goes, but I'm still going to be grinding as much as possible. Marcus is still quarantining, and he'll probably be in the chat here and there to see where it goes, but I appreciate every single one of y'all, and like I said, it's early right now. Like I said, at this point, it's what time is it? 1:39 my time. It might be 4:39 or 3:39 your time out there. But I think at this point, I just wanted to hop on and do a stream, and then I'm probably going to do another stream later tonight, kind of go over not only Brady, Gurley, Gordon, any other news that happens, Ebron, plus anything else, and then we can just hang out and talk football just like we normally do. So I think at this point I'm going to probably just end this particular chat, but then I'll go in later on this evening, maybe around, I don't know, sometime between 5 and 7 my time, Pacific time, and we can talk more about what we talked about earlier today, as well as getting some more people that are off work, and we can have the chat and go over all the picks that I went over, as well as the movement in the NFL. I did not see your MLB comment. Let me scroll up. 1 second, Nova Flame. How far up did you do it? Nova. Excited to see some Luis Robert Jimenez when the MLB does resume. Right. That's going to be exciting. And you are a White Sox fan, right? If I can remember last time that we spoke. Is that correct? I imagine so. And then obviously me following the Mariners and the Dodgers. I'm going to try to do a lot of Sunday night baseball. If we can get back to the MLB whenever it starts in May or whenever, but I want to be able to do baseball coverage on the channel because we've never done it. So if I can do live streams of Sunday night baseball or just, do a few matchups that are good, I'd love to be able to do that. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Travis Blankenship, Matthew Sanchez, thank you so much for the donations. Carter Miller, Panthers fan. Don't worry about it, Panthers fan. Everything will be good with Teddy Two Gloves. Carter Miller, my AEW guy. Love you, brother. Nova Flame. Tess, the best moderator in the building. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And like I said, I'll end this live stream now. And then I will be back later tonight, and we'll go over all this information again, plus anything new, probably sometime between 5 and 7 o'clock my time. So it'll be 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock your time if you're on the East Coast. So just look out for a notification on your phone or computer whenever I hop on. Have a good rest of your Friday. I'm going to watch Georgia and Florida, as well as some NFL coverage that's going on. So if you guys are looking for something to watch right now, Georgia, Florida is on SEC Network. Looks like Colts and Chargers from last year is on NFL Network, and they got news on ESPN. So I'm going to do some research, go over all the tape, and enjoy that. And then you guys will see me back in probably a couple hours, and we'll be able to enjoy each other's company. So I have one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, the Northwest Sports Fanatic. Tess, the best moderator in the business. Love you guys. I'll be back later tonight. Peace.